There is a sound of the airplane, and that is wow, on top of our garden. It means that this area is the highway of the airplane. The airplane just coming in and coming out, and we are back at our garden, and I ensure that the garden has the touch of mystery on it, that you will not be noticing that there is something inside, because there are trees, and I allow these trees to thrive here and with thorns in it, so that any person who would attempt to come will have this kind of hesitation to enter our garden. So here's the update of our squash just today. Okay, so gladdened to see that this one became responsive right now when it comes to the growth, and I think I didn't water that much this morning, so as a gift then I'll have to water it all the more. Even to a point of flooding, because by this time it is already presumed that the the roots are actually scattered, and it is no longer contained at the base itself, but it's spread through, and that is what we are actually adapting, so that we'll be able to identify which part of this section wherein um, the roots of the squash have reached. And since I have stored a little of water in here, so that is our allocation right now for the squash, so it is consuming a lot of water. Now I remember the other time around, this squash was actually being soaked in water, and in response to that, I think, although it is very slender, yet you can see that it responded by extending its vine. Similar with this one. Before it get soaked in water, it's just like a normal, squash without taking care of the growth and momentum. But when we soak it in water, you'll be able to witness here that there is really a sudden change, and there is really a sudden vibrancy, as evidently being seen here at summit of the squash itself. And this one also tries to duplicate its neighbor's action towards growing, and this one, you are noticing that the upper portion of it starts to thicken. Yeah, this one have the privilege to just even occupy whichever space it wanted to, and over the past days, really, you'll be able to observe that it really extended. And right now, one of the remarkable things that I have been depicting to you in the past few days is that whenever the squash actually grew here in this section, it voluntarily shows young tenders on its side. Perhaps because this one actually, before I manipulated this, it bowed down. And this one also turns to be like crossover. So this one remains to be stagnated. Perhaps the root system really were locked, because you can see, guys, this is actually concrete and then concrete. I just excavated a portion of it, and I am not really sure whether it is going to grow. So it seems that this squash is like the one being planted in a pot, because it is enclaved and the roots cannot even spread through, and it was translated in the stagnation of the growth and development. Okay, this one looks pretty right now in comparison with its former look, because really this one was very slender. I mean, look at the base of it. It never did grow. I mean, it didn't grow bigger, and it is directly proportional, of course, to the vine at top of it. But this time, with the thickening of the summit and the effect to which the nutrients have brought in it, and and the initiative we have done, that even the surrounding place is that there's an airplane again that passes through, and it overpowers our voice. And the initiative that we have done to even water the surrounding, I think it paid off already. And that's the essence of the intervention that we have done. So this time around, also this one needs to be manipulated because it is going out of the fence. And say hello to this one. You are going to really say hello, and um, I am having difficulty of removing the coil as it gripped already, as it coiled already on the flowers of the moringa. This is actually moringa. This is actually a post we have stationed here just to support the structure. And this time, yeah, it is intertwined. It coiled. I mean, the hook actually coiled, and that is why it started to position itself going up. Even the other portion of it also coiled here. Perhaps we could get a video that depicts the movement of the coil as it starts to coil to like for example to the rope. That would be so nice to look at. I mean, we're going to look at the live changes. How I wish I could have in here a camera that would depict such a thing. So far right now, what we are depicting to you are just the preliminaries. It means we are still at the entrance at the moment, and we're just simply gladdened to be spending a little of our time here because we are gladdened to see the development here. There is really progress. I mean, the progress really are so evident, and I am seeing it in a positive way as it coiled going up. And you know, squash, you still have a long way to go upstairs. So if you're going to consider from the bottom of it and towards here, after more than a month, you'll really be able to witness that there are changes, significant changes that we are witnessing here in our squash. So this time also, this squash starts to recover when we tried to fix a rope so that it can go up directly without any interruption. So this time, let's just have to sometimes manipulate the direction, the point of direction. This one also seemed to be like recovering because the leaves in the past days it got wilted like this one. That's our problem, and I think it's viral, and perhaps because of lack of water, perhaps this one is so exposed to the concrete barriers, and the concrete are hot, so we failed to water I think 3 days. We don't have supply of water. So this time, wow, this is so evident that you can see the young vines coiling and continue its flight upwardly. That is so nice to look at. So I am trying to manipulate this one because it is going out of the way. So it didn't call because the the wall was actually flat. So it cannot call because it's flat. It needs like a single structure wherein it can coil. So this one also is like a crossover from here, and it bent towards here. And since there is no entry here, I mean there is no growing squash here, then we are allowing it. So there's also another one that is crossing over. Now, one thing that we need to understand, or one thing that we need to ensure, is that the squash should have been growing in a balanced way wherein they receive equal distribution of sunlight, because if they don't receive the equal distribution of sunlight, the tendency is they stop growing anyway. Okay, this one, yeah, started to go up. Please reach upstairs. I think I need to manipulate this one because, yeah, up top you will be able to see a support system. So another squash that stops growing here is this one. I don't know, maybe perhaps this one didn't receive equal distribution of sunlight, and it seems to be overpowered by the other. But let's try to pray and, you know, rescue it. Grow in Jesus' name, please. So this squash really, this one have gone through far places. So if it grew like going straight, it must have reached, I think, half of it. But it didn't go like that. It crossed over, it bent. And this one too. Sorry, but I need to remove you and, okay, and manipulate sometimes, okay, so that you can coil again and you can grow again upwardly. And attesting to what we have been stating before, that when it bends you will be able to see young shoots here from the same vine. So the problem right now is that it stops growing because it didn't receive equal distribution of sunlight, and there are still others who competes to be recognized. This is from the main vine, so it also crossover. So there are a lot of crossovers here. So this one also we need to manipulate. Okay, so this one also, what happened to you? Okay, I'm sorry if it felt hurt, if you are hurt, but it needs to be done. You need to crawl straight, you need to go up. Yeah, this is where you belong. Okay, so this area, I mean, started to become thick, and because of the thickening of the leaves or the widening of the leaves, I mean, you can really observe clearly here that the leaves occupies larger portion of it, and it keeps on growing. So it means that the efforts that we have done, like watering, really paid off this time. Okay, so so this one also, wow, this one is so healthy. As you can observe, guys, it goes directly towards the summit, and at the summit it inclined, and oh, I am seeing it to be overshadowing the other portion of squash here. So what will I do? I need to invite them. Okay. No, I'll just allow it to naturally grow in that way, because over manipulation would also affect them in that manner. So this time around, you are seeing here um, two competing squash. This one is struggling, but the one is having the freedom to become supreme, and it reaches the summit already where it can grow on top of us. So there are already strings called in here. So this one also is positioning itself to climb to the wall. So let's just allow it, because there are plenty of spaces going up. I'm looking for this one. What happened to you? Why you surrender? You shouldn't. Okay. Okay. So one thing that we need to understand, or one thing that we need to do as a form of assistance to the squash, whenever they seem to be like surrendering, they are bowing down, and they're pointing their growth towards the ground, then let's just cheer them up, and by way of coiling it towards a direction, towards an upward direction, so that they will be able to grow and again gain its momentum of growing uh, upwardly. So we are enjoying now the view here, because um, in the past months this is actually empty. There is no green leaves here, but dried leaves. What we had here are just memorabilia of our experience and dreams, of course, that one day we can grow again our squash, and it was made possible. Okay, really, nothing is impossible if you believe in God and you are going to accompany your dreams with works, and indeed it will come to pass. And this time you are going to we are witnessing, including you guys, the output of our efforts. I think you need to go there. Okay. That's the thing that we need to do, sometimes manipulate the growth pattern of the squash, because sometimes it is hard-headed, stubborn, it coils anywhere. Where are you going? Okay, so this one, it is showing new leaves, light green, and I like it. It's so refreshing to the eyes. Oh, this one too. Oh, wait, so yeah, you have to coil here. So in coiling, guys, or in manipulating the growth, you should be careful also that you are not going to destroy the tender leaves, because it's very tender. For example, this one, if you're going to just bend this and then cut it, it will be removed. So we're not yet pruning, so perhaps when the first sets of flowers are going to be showing, then it's time for us to prune. And right now we have new, young shoot, so we'll have to expose it to the sunlight. And this one is struggling, yet I have high hopes. This one, okay, the young shoot are healthy and competing. So we're happy to just see them doing that and continuously growing. We are so happy to see them in that manner. So this one also became so gigantic this time. Actually, I find it so hard to even prioritize where I have to go because I am being barred at some point. Yeah. So this time around, oh. Wow, I'm so happy. Yesterday it was not like this. I think they became so excited, especially what we did is that in the other section of the garden, I watered it because I have an assumption that the roots are also congregating there, and I am not mistaken. Indeed, it congregated there, and that is the reason why this time, see the growth and development. It even cross wherever they wish to go. They are doing it. Oh, they shouldn't be like. It shouldn't be like that. Wait for a moment. Wait. Okay. Squash. Listen to me. Okay. You should be. Sorry, guys. This is somewhat like big, actually bigger now, and having bigger and healthier squash sorry, seem to be mm, like hard-headed this time. Okay, so from here it goes up, and uh, we just have to expose the other young shoots right now because there are plenty of young shoots right now. It branched, so many branches here. Oh, not even a single of the section of the leaves that do not have the young shoot. There are young shoots even if it was not fully developed. Wow, it is growing in a multiple manner, and that is what causes so much of the happiness today. Okay, this one needs to coil. I already have manipulated you before. Why is it that you are not following me? You should follow your boss. Okay, so you grow, okay? Hmm. Okay, we just need to be very watchful wherever they are headed to, especially this one. I think this became so late, so I think they're going to be overshadowed, but we are going to find ways for it to even find its way up. So this one also. Okay, I think there are ways, of course, for it to go up, especially this one. What happened to you? Yeah, you have your way here. Sorry, you have your way here. Yeah, okay. So our support to this squash really is unending. I mean, we really have to guide them so that they will be able to reach the summit of our structure. And in here, yeah, what I knew here, see, I'm so happy because the leaves really are so big, and they are, ow, they are overshadowing the area and even the ground, making it so thick, and it looks like this area will soon become a forest, but not of trees, but with squash. Wow, so we are just making this place productive. So you guys guys, you squash, you have to exert more of your efforts to even cope up with the others, okay? So that you'll be able to cope up with the growth of the others. I know you can do it. Mm-hmm. So this one also, okay. This one also needs to call. Sorry. Okay. Oh, what happened to you? So I think, oh, this really needs a support this time. Wait for a moment. I think I need to look for, okay, for rope to support it as it reached the summit already. I can use the rope which I was using before here at the bottom. I'm wishing that this one is going uh, to look up again because it bent. Oh, ah, see, the vine actually was swollen because of the heaviness of the summit of it, due to our excessive watering this morning, and there was no support actually that holds it, and it gets swollen and fractured. Oh no. Yeah, see, it was fractured. So the other squash you are seeing here, that it started to position to become like others there in our garden. Okay, they are actually growing right now, and in fact in this section it is the healthiest and the most productive of all the squash. Why? Because see, they are so busy occupying, and it actually prompted us yesterday to fix the rope here in order that this place is going to be ready as these squash are positioning itself to go up. And this one, why you are going there? You should not be going there, you should be here. Sorry if I hurt you. Ah. Since uh, you are being manipulated to grow, you should obey. Okay. Yeah, there are significant changes here, and also this one also. Wow, it started to scatter. I already established a rope here just in case that it's going to climb. It is ready. This one also, although still yellowish, well, we are wishing that it is going to recover. So thank you guys for watching SAS TV official. So from that corner it is not shown, and even in this corner these are our squash plantation.